which is high stress in many cases. The fetus will already be developing in a kind of PTSD. So this work really seeks to help us identify what behaviors aren't ours, what we had to adopt from our system of origin or our mother predominantly. And that's kind of a general overview. So Zeke will have people represent different parts of his psyche. Let's see. I think I'm trying to look at a message that's coming in through Facebook Messenger. Someone else wants to come in. But Susanna, are you here?
There's something else. I was holding back. So,
Zeke, Susanna is trained in IOPT work as well. So when I leave right now to go see if someone wants the link, Susanna can probably. Susanna, would you be willing to pick up the torch there?
Yeah, you were just explaining it so good. I wish that I could have said that. Right.
Oh, I've heard you explain IOPT really eloquently when we were at Kirk's apartment. I'm gonna go check on Lorraine because she's messaging me from Facebook Messenger and I want to make sure she has the updated link. But I'll be right back. And Zeke, Susanna is a practitioner, so she can answer any questions right now too, and I'll be right back.
Okay, sure.
Hi, Susanna. So, I feel like I should come clean and not hold anything back. And so the stuff I want to get off my chest. I have my therapist Fariba that I talk to every week, and then my mom. I had the last session for the first time. I had my mom join in on a three-way call, and then she said during the conversation that my dad abused her, that there was a time in England we were in a hotel room with the three of us, the kids in the one bedroom and my mom and dad in the other room, and dad was asking for affection from my mom in the bed, and she wasn't giving it to him, and he pushed her off the bed, and that she didn't yell because she knew we were in the other room. She didn't want us to hear. And then the one thing happened. The two things I responded to that was that at that time, not long after, my mom was doing sexual things. I would wake up every morning and she was at my bed, looking at me sexually, and other varieties of things she was doing. At the age of 12, shortly after my brother died, I think as a result of something happened when my brother died, and that's what she says about I was in trauma. That's why I was doing it. And then the thought I had was, my dad wanted affection. You weren't giving it to him, and you were coming to me for affection, for your sexual satisfaction. That doesn't seem right to me, And
that can be very confusing.
Yeah.
For a child, as you know.
Yeah.
In this work, there's traumas of identity and traumas of love.
Yeah.
And traumas of sexuality.
Yeah.
So what you see there is you're going to have multiple layer of trauma in your development.
And then so what has happened? Yeah, and so what has happened? I seem to have inherited that. My roommate, who's been here longer than almost 2.5 years, 3 years. She's recently left. She's not here anymore. Last 2 days, I think she's gone permanently. And then she was behaving the same way to me. She wouldn't, even in the beginning we were in relationship, but even then I wasn't getting affection I needed. We kept getting therapy for it. I even called crisis line and then she wouldn't let me get it from others, and she kept sabotaging any relationship I had with any other woman. I would try to bring other women in here, and she would have cat fights with them and kick them out, and so. And then even when we're not in a relationship, because she wanted this house all to herself, and then so she would be depriving me, and then she would be preventing me from getting affection from others, and then
so it's kind of Zeke. It's kind of a reenactment.
yeah.
And our psyches create that.
Yeah.
And we see that happen over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And when people try all kinds of other forms of therapy, getting desperate, they might find this level of work.
Yeah.
And that's why this work was created. Patterns like that.
Yeah.
Recreating from our psyche. And us not being able to access the transformation of that within our own psyche. So that's where in this work we look at what's going on inside of ourselves. And sometimes what's going on in our psyche, based on what we were experiencing, and like Amelia said, that can cause such discomfort that part of our psyche splits off and dissociates.
Yeah.
So as far as that part of our psyche is concerned, that's still going on. Even if we were an infant or a 12-year-old, that's still what that part of our psyche thinks reality is.
Yeah.
So when we come into contact with those parts now from our adult selves, we can open that part of ourselves up to that's not the reality anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also start to integrate your own adult learnings and transmit that consciousness, awareness, and evolution that you've experienced, to transmit that to that part of you that became split off, that still thinks that this reality as a 12-year-old is still going on. And that in turn manifests this situation you have as an adult with your husband. So it's really what we call an echo of the past. And we find those parts of ourselves here now.
Yeah, so just to affirm what you're saying,
It's not about the story of what happened or what's happening.
Yeah.
It's about getting in touch with what that part of yourself is experiencing as reality.
Yeah.
And then you might tell that part, well, yeah, that did happen to us.
Yeah.
That did happen to you when you were 12. Mom made sexual advances towards you. But now, that I'm going to make sure as a man, as a grown-up, that's not happening anymore. Mom is gone. I'm protecting you. And then this experience that you're having with your mom with the texting and her demands from you start to have less of a pull on you, have less of a trigger on you, and you'll develop a mature way to interact with her. And that comes organically. Where you can just say, Mom, don't do this anymore. It's okay. I'll be there when I'm there. Instead of having this constant feedback. That's going on.
Yeah.
So we're focusing in this work on that split out part of yourself that we're finding in these resonances. And we just stay with that part, and we might tell that part what happened, but it's more important to tell that part what's happening now, based on your ability as a grown man to know what you want. Like, what you want is a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And it keeps happening. Relationships with women or men, but that's not what you want to happen anymore. You want a healthy, balanced, good boundaries relationship. And you can, because you're an adult. And you have the intelligence and the developed brain to create that. But first you have to get that part of yourself on board. So it's not continuously creating and attracting, drawing in this whole nother reality.
Thank you, Susanna. I'm gonna I'm going to suggest that we get close to starting the process because we are at 9:30. And then Zeke, if you want to discuss more, you can contact me or probably even Susanna. Yes, Susanna's open to.
Yes, I would like that. Yes. Yes, please.
Okay, great. We had originally talked about starting this as a men's group, so if people came into the group tonight hoping it was just a men's group, that'll probably start becoming that in the next months or so. We'll probably still have women come in who will be here to represent the mothers. But I see a couple people that I haven't met before, so if you have questions, you could ask me them now, and I could answer them pretty quickly. I wanted to know if there's anybody here who's not comfortable with representing, and also I have a friend who may come into the screen a little late. His name's John. I don't know if his screen will say John. He's on East Coast time, and so am I, and so is Jesse. I can stay up late, but to honor Jesse and John, I want to try to keep us on track with timing because it's about 9:30 over here. So those are anybody who already knows they don't want to represent or wants more information on what representing might be. Okay.
Yeah, you can tell me.
Yeah. Is that Antonio?
Yeah.
Okay. So this work originally comes from the Zulu people, and it was taken from. There was a guy named Bert Hellinger. He was a European who went down to study with them for maybe like 30 years. He brought that work back to Europe and morphed it, I guess, to like the European way of thinking about the psyche. So the teacher that I've been studying with, he left Hellinger and he has broken off and made his own work. So the original work, I think, dealt a lot more with having people coming in to represent ancestors. And now the work is predominantly representing parts of our psyche. So we might be, since I was I came from some kind of system, I would have had trauma is that a person has an experience that's too overwhelming for the state of their nervous system. So a split occurs, and they have to adopt to the state of the nervous system, basically, of their mother. And so that's a really early split. And so what we're doing in this work is having people represent different parts of our psyche. So they might be representing like an identification with our mother, or someone else in our system of origin, or a survival strategy. And then we're really trying to get in there and find like that healthy original autonomous self, which you have at conception, but oftentimes that's compromised early. So that's kind of a general overview of the work. But representing, being that Zeke is a male and he's going to be looking for representatives, it would be traditional for him to choose predominantly men to represent his parts. And I think that you are one of the few males here tonight. John will be showing up, maybe a guy named Jerry. So if you think you might be open to representing, what it would be like is you say yes if you want to. He'll give you an element, a part. He has a sentence of his intention. So in his case, I don't know what it is yet, but if it's say it's I want something, he might ask you to represent his I, or his want, or whatever it is that he's seeking. And you could say yes, no. And if you say yes, you would step into the resonating in that field, and you would just basically tell him what you're feeling. And because it's Zeke's first time doing this work, I'll probably be right alongside of him, and I might be asking questions of you, like, what age do you feel like you are? Or do you feel like you're part of Zeke? So oftentimes when we have traumas, a part of us will be stuck in a certain age. So you might be representing a part, and you may have like an overwhelming feeling, I feel like I'm 3. And then I might ask Zeke something like, what do you know what happened to you when you were 3? Things of that nature. Or if I say, I feel like you're a part of Zeke, you might say, actually I'm done. You might start, if you're representing an identification like your father or a stepfather, or maybe even his mother. And it's really intuitive, and anyone can basically come off the street and represent. And then you're at the end of the process, he'll de-roll you, and and kind of formally tell you, okay, you're Antonio again. You're not my eye. Yeah. And Suzanne, do you feel comfortable representing, or do you have any questions? Or
No, I feel perfectly comfortable representing. Thank you.
awesome.
I've done constellations before, and then I've done some of Stephen's workshop ID sessions.
Oh, cool. Okay. So
Plain and
that's
fine. And I know
Yeah.
Susan.
Okay, great. Lorraine, it's good to see you. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you.
Okay, so it sounds like people are okay with representing, and Kevin, you are too?
Yes, I'm here. Aloha from home.
It's good to see you. Thank you. And Jesse, are you with us? Because we could already start.
I'm with you guys. Yep.
Awesome. So Zeke, any questions from you? You have your sentence of your intention?
My sentence is, I am the voice of the soul. And,
Okay. Zeke, I just asked you to unmute.
I
If you can stop the process at any time. We're in charge the whole time.
I don't think I ever would. I don't stop anyone from saying, you got something to say, I want to hear it. I would never stop anyone from speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm probably going to be in, I'm going to keep myself visible since this is your first time. And I probably will ask you if I can ask parts questions. And you can tell me yes or no. But I think it'll help the process go more smoothly. That's usually the way it's done when we work with someone for the first time or many times. To be right there with them, because this work was originally done in person, and the facilitator would be standing there right next to you. So a lot of these people you've watched, like Lorraine and Susanna, they've done so much of this work, and Jesse, I let them, I stand back and let them do their own work, but it's because they have so much experience doing the work that it can go like that. So you can tell me to be quiet at any time, but I'll probably be a lot more present in your process than you've seen me.
Yes. Okay,
so if you want to rename yourself, if people want to take out their last names, if they're able to rename themselves, maybe we can be on a first name basis, and that might feel a little warmer. And then also I'll do that for myself as well. Zeke, you can write out, you can type in right after your name your sentence of your intention. If anybody can't do that renaming, I can do it for you.
I can't do it.
You Alice,
Okay,
you go.
Alice, I'll just take your last name out, Alice.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And Kevin needs to be named.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on a phone. I don't know how to use the Zoom on this
Okay.
that well yet.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And then if you, of course, and if you get chosen, I'll just feel like I can go ahead and put the element in after your name as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, Kevin, maybe yours is coming up as iPhone. All right. So Zeke, you can already say your sentence of your intention out loud.
I am the voice of the soul. And
Okay,
I
great.
please want to thank Lorraine, because Lorraine taught me this. I heard her say this, that when there's drama going on, there's something that needs to be spoken, and that really inspired me. That then I want to be the one who speaks it. I want to know what it is in any situation, in any condition that needs to be spoken, and I want to be speaking it. I actually made a URL, thevoiceofthesoul.us, and I made an email address. I am the voice of the soul at gmail.com, and then I want to make the whole new YouTube channel for that. I mean,
That
I want
sounds
to,
perfect.
yeah. and then
That sounds like a perfect explanation.
yeah, and then Alice is in this group. Alice is the closest to me because she's my sister, and then Lorraine is the one who inspired it. I've had a few sessions with her, and also the other person I know is Antonio. I've talked to Antonio before, and he's just a really nice guy. And then the rest of you, I have had sessions. I've had, and then then I would need guidance how I would see if I wanna. I would think like I would want Alice to be predominant. I would say, would Alice be the soul, for example?
Okay.
And
Well,
then,
if you're thinking about which elements you want to assign to people, you don't have to include all of the words.
okay.
You can just, you know, like you said, of the soul or the soul or soul. You can choose any of that or all of it. And you can leave, like I said, you can leave words out. You don't have to have the end stop. I don't think you're gonna have an end stop period punctuation mark. So you're gonna end up with 3 chunks of information that you assign to from your sense of your intention that you assign to 3 individuals.
Okay.
And you can, you know, if Alice wants to represent, which she didn't say she did, you can by all means choose her. I may ask her if if she feels like she's. You can say to someone, if you're choosing a woman, you can ask them to represent as a man, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, but
Okay.
I'm okay with I'm okay with the representing someone. Yeah.
I'll probably have the facilitator ask her pretty early on if she feels like she's male or female, because it might give us more information about identifications from your system of origin. So you can go ahead and tell me what you want me to type after Alice's name. Which portion of the sentence you would like to assign to her?
The soul.
Okay, got it.
And then maybe if Lorraine is okay, she could be the voice.
Okay. And Lorraine can rename herself. I'm pretty certain.
And then would Antonio, would you want to be I am?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you.
Again, my friend John may come in. He's never been to a process like this before, so I'll be watching for him in the waiting room. And if you're okay with that, Zeke, with him coming in, I'll allow him to come in. And he could potentially come in with the video or audio on. I'm not sure.
That's perfect.
And then I'll ask him. Yeah, I'll ask him if he could mute that. And farther along in the process, we could bring other people in, potentially to represent your mother or your father or things like that.
Yes.
So it might be useful to have more people.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So if you want me to have my video off, I could. And we'll ask everybody who you didn't choose to turn their videos off now. And the way we typically begin is you tell these. Nice. Okay. Jesse's gonna be holding space. She just wanted to let us know.
What does that mean?
And she's with us. And so, Zeke, what we typically do is you tell the representatives when you're ready for them to begin, and they'll go into resonation of these parts of your psyche. And then you can watch how they're behaving or breathe or do whatever you need. Well, you're gonna breathe no matter what, but you're gonna be there. And you decide when you're ready to start. And when I say start, I mean just basically approaching the parts and asking them what they're feeling. And I'll probably either step back in if you want me to turn my video off, or I'll ask you if there's some things I can ask them to. Would you rather have my video off?
No, I want
I won't be offended.
No, I want everybody on at all times.
Okay, so you can tell them when you're ready to begin, when you're ready for them to go into resonance. They may already be starting.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. And I just want to say to Antonio who's representing I am. If it's too much, you can always step out of the resonance. And if the part doesn't want to speak, or you know the part wouldn't say what you need to say, you can say, I'm speaking this as Antonio. Yeah.
So it's just like constellation, basically.
It's a lot like constellation, yeah. It's just parts of the psyche. Yeah, not the ancestors so much. So Zeke, I'm gonna just let you lead, and you decide when you wanna approach your parts and what you wanna ask them.
Okay. I am the voice of the soul. My soul
So do you want me to say what I'm feeling now?
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. Thank you.
Okay, I feel overwhelmed. That's the first thing I felt, was overwhelmed. And then I felt like the lights were all out. Like I was in the dark and I was lost. I'm lost. And a deep feeling of sadness. Loneliness and sadness.
I'm sorry for the things I've had to tell you, and the things I've had to tell you weren't out of maliciousness or meanness or to hurt you, but they were out of love, out of I need to, you know me, I need to speak the truth.
And remember, Zeke, remember that Alice is representing a part of your psyche.
Yes.
I'm not representing your sister.
That's okay.
Right.
I
So
still need
she's
to,
representing a part of your psyche that we're calling the soul.
yeah.
So when you speak to her right now, you're actually speaking to a part of yourself.
Yeah, but if I don't speak what's on my heart, then it's gonna be in the way. It's gonna block what I need to say. You see, when I need to
You
feel.
speak everything you need to say, and I will too. And I hope I don't interrupt too much.
Yeah.
So we'll just let it keep flowing. Thank you.
This is the thing. I mean, this is the very center of it. You see. This is the very center of it. Is I need to speak candidly and honestly and accurately. And this pisses people off, this hurts people, this gets me kicked out of college classrooms and groups because people get offended when they hear the truth. They want it, when it's not sugar-coated and it's not, disguised or in any way, people can't tolerate it. And I
would already say, let's ask the soul how they feel about that when they hear you say that.
I feel like your mind is going faster than your body. There's like some kind of, this is like a nervous, what you call, tick, like a nervous tick kind of a thing. Kind of like an OCD thing that if you don't do it, then you feel like something will happen. It's like a nervous state, the talking too much and it's an anxiety thing. I feel like when there's too much anxiety, then this kind of behavior happens more. And that's a coping mechanism. So de-stressing and breathing will help you align yourself with your spirit and knowing that you're enough. That you're enough.
I am. What am I feeling? What are you feeling right now?
I feel like alone and cold. Physically cold. That's like my physical feeling.
That's good. Okay. Voice. Are you protecting yourself?
No, I was I guess giving myself a hug. I didn't really agree with everything that the soul said. I feel like I agree with the fast brain, but my thing is I feel that I've been stretching a lot, and I'm trying to give myself some space so that energy doesn't. I feel that like I have a lot of blockages in me, and so information wants to stick to things, to stuff that I have in me, and it gets me overwhelmed. And I feel like my brain's like a computer, and it's so fast, and I'm getting all this information, and it gets me into this overwhelm and anxiety. And so I need to somehow let go of some of it and purge some of it so that I can be more of a clear channel, and so that things just flow out of me. Like I feel like the reason why I have anxiety is there's a system crash going on. My computer is malfunctioning, and I have so much information. I can tune into everything so much, and it jams up in me, and I don't know how to clear myself. And so I was stretching so that I can somehow maybe stretch myself out so I can have more space. I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel overwhelmed. I have a lot of information, and I don't even need it, but it sticks to me. And all I can think of, it sticks to me because it's familiar. Like it's like like attracts like a magnet. So I'm feeling like, because I have a lot of unfelt stuff from life that's just been there, layers and layers of unfelt stuff. So this information, when I meet people or wherever I'm at and I'm getting information, it just comes in me, and some of it sticks to me, and it gets bigger and bigger because of the fact that I haven't felt it. So that's what I'm feeling right now.
Zeke, does that sound familiar to you? Does that
Well,
resonate with you?
yes, I recognize that. It's just that now I see everything that goes on in my life and everything I'm thinking and feeling, all this information, it's there. It's just not me. My meditation helps you stand outside of it and just watch it. And so I'm not trapped in it anymore. And this is the wonderful thing. No matter what's going on, it's kind of sweet to me because I'm not entangled in it. I'm there watching it go on, but I don't feel trapped or in any of it, and I've learned not to react to anything, the stuff going on, and just that very fact alone, I feel so fortunate because it keeps me out of trouble. No matter what happens, I'm outside of it, and I'm able to, not get
Yeah, you've learned to live. You've learned to live with it, being outside of it.
Yeah.
Sounds like. Would you be okay with me asking how that lands with I am?
It's kind of like, things are it's kind of like, not really, not confused, but it's like, it's just me. Doing all this stuff is, like everything's you, It's not like, it's not like anybody's helping you or, it's not like, weights being brought towards different areas. It's just all pointing towards you, that kind of feeling. Like you're the center and everything just comes.
Zeke, what about checking with the soul? Thank you, I am. Maybe we can see if anything's changed for the soul since you haven't responded to what the voice said.
Sure, yes, and then I have this tendency that something needs to be spoken, and then I can't rest easy until it is. And
let's have you just speak it then.
The statement I told Alice, my sister, that was particularly hurtful to her. I know. And then I said, you're spending all money that you didn't earn on your treatment on your cancer. And that's an example of it's something that I needed to say. And I want to know what the soul has to say about it.
Okay, that sounds like a good direction. Let's see. The soul, do you have a response?
To that particular thing, I'm a little confused now because I feel like I have my answer to give from yours as
it's
your
okay.
sister.
You not just give it. Whatever it is, give it.
If you can stay in the resonance, that would be the best for the process. If you get answered from that part of Zeke that we're calling the soul.
I feel your hurt, and I feel your attacks come from a source of hurt. So I don't take it personally. I've known your soul. I've known your soul since you were a little kid. You don't have a hurting bone in your body.
Zeke, could I ask the soul another question?
Sure.
The soul, do you feel like you're a part of Zeke? Or do you feel like you're not sure?
I feel that it's all the same.
Okay. Do you feel male or female or neither?
I feel neither.
Okay. Thank you.
I feel that the hurt that you're feeling is it's some of it has to do with you not thinking you're deserving because of the way it's been for so long. You don't know how it feels to be free. And so even when you have moments of freedom, you trap yourself because it feels weird to be free. And before that, I felt like a choking, like so many things have not been shared for so long, and felt like it's stayed in your throat. It needs to come out.
Zeke, did your mother ever choke you as a child?
No.
Did someone choke you?
No.
No one choked you.
Well, I have been told Daniel was 2 years ago when the cough started, and Daniel said he saw a noose around my neck, that in the past life I was hung by a noose because of controversial things I was saying. And then I've had people tell me repeatedly, Zeke, you're still there, the noose is still there. It wouldn't need to be there if you quit saying this stuff.
We don't usually talk about past life stuff with advocacy. You can talk about it, but it's not usually.
Oh, well.
It's not usually seen as a reason for the noose. But I can, as Amalia, go out of the box with you on that and give you as much space with that as you need. But
I didn't know that. Yeah, because.
I wonder, did you have the umbilical cord around your neck, or do you know anything about your birth?
I'd never heard that happened, but I know that I was what I was told was I know I was premature, and the doctors at the hospital said I wasn't going to be born, and that my dad came to the hospital and got my mom out of there, and then that's why I was born. Otherwise, I wouldn't be. Right, Alice? Is that what you were told?
I was told that the doctors wanted to abort you, and my mom ran out of the hospital.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard. Yeah, Dad came and took her, and then that there had been 3 previous abortions that Mom had. Did you hear that? Is that what you got also? Yeah. They didn't know. They didn't. I hadn't heard of contraception. I think, right? I actually asked Mom, "Didn't you guys know about contraception? Did I put on the condom or something?"
Do you know how far along her gestation she was with her gestation when she was in the hospital situation?
I just have pictures of me when I was a baby, and I'm tiny, and I was
You were
told,
6 months. It
oh,
was
this
6
is,
months.
oh, okay, and she was saying I couldn't, she could feed me milk with an eye drop, I would still puke it out. So tiny.
So were you born at home?
What do you know, Alice? You know, as a hospital, they took her to another hospital. That's why I was born.
I know you were born in a hospital.
Okay. Was it? The people asked, was it in the morning? I've heard it's in the morning. Did you hear that? If it's in the morning, or somebody like people who do astrology or something else, was it in the morning? I've heard it was.
Yeah, it's not as important for this work, but it sounds like what I hear you saying is that she went in, she was having some kind of labor or something, and they thought they were going to abort you, but your dad got her out of the hospital,
Yeah.
and then at some point she went to another hospital and you were born.
Yeah.
But you were premature and you had to be fed through an eye dropper, and that you would puke the formula up or whatever it was they were giving you.
And then there's
So
pictures.
That's pretty serious.
I also have video I've uploaded. I can show it right now on if I share my screen. That video I can show, but that wouldn't.
Yeah, maybe another time. It sounds like it. Yeah, it's. If you were born that early, it'd be very, very hard for a baby to be fed, first of all, from an eye dropper. Especially since your mom had a lot of trauma. Let's check in with the other parts. You want to see how I am is feeling when we talk about all of this birth stuff?
I'm actually warm now. And I guess it's the way I'm feeling, it's like it's kind of hard to speak. I have like a tension right here in my throat, like huge tension, and on my backside, my right side, on the right side under my arm, it's like a huge tension there, and it's probably like an overbearing feeling, like being overwhelmed.
Do you feel? Is it okay, Zeke, if I ask I am another question?
Sure.
Do you feel like you have an age? Could you sense an age?
Not a precise age. I would say it's probably in younger times, younger years.
I really like that voice is expressing herself so elegantly without even speaking.
Yeah, do you want to check in with voice and see what's going on with them?
I don't want to interrupt with her.
Okay.
She's free to speak if she wants to, but I think it's beautiful what she's doing. And maybe that's speaking something to me. And I think that's speaking wonders to me. I think let's watch what voice is speaking, please, if that's okay.
It's absolutely okay.
It's just beautiful what she's doing.
I'm getting the feeling that she's in the room.
Do you want to check with her, Zeke?
She's free to speak if she wants to.
Okay. It's great to see that your part is connected, that the soul is having some connection with voice. I'm wondering, is it okay if I ask I am another question while we watch voice?
Yes. Yes, sure, yes.
Do you feel any connection with voice or the soul, or with Zeke?
Yes, I actually do. I guess in a sense, with what she's doing, it might be something related to in the womb. I get this almost like I'm trying to breathe, taking deep breaths.
It's mesmerizing.
And it's very warm, very warm.
Feels like in some way he's trying to help his mom from the womb.
That could be very informative.
Yeah, this is
So one of your parts of the soul is saying that they're getting the sense that you already had to help your mom already in the womb.
that is I mean that does ring true to me. That does sound like something I would be doing. But I don't want to lock into that. I think there could be something. I think it is that, and I think it is something even more.
I'm sure it can be something even more. I just typically, with the work, we generally just believe what the parts say. So I'm just reflecting what the soul said.
I do believe that.
Part
Yes.
of you.
I do need just a few seconds to come back, please. Is that okay?
Sure. Absolutely.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I repeatedly have compulsion to speak thoughts that I'm having that are inappropriate. And I've been told it's similar to people who cut themselves. And that I should resist. I shouldn't speak them. In meetings, what I would do is I would ask permission. If the group would give me permission, I would tell them I have something inappropriate to speak. And then after a few times, I would, well, Zeke, don't do it, and this time. And then so since voice is I think saturated with what she's doing, maybe I am. Tell me what you're feeling.
I was feeling like something was hurting. I was actually crying a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, some tears came down, so I was like crying a little bit. So I don't know if it's something like, I don't know, devastated or something happened.
That is accurate. I am. And then I just had the thought that I could speak what is inappropriate if I speak it in my language and only Alice would understand it. Would that be okay?
You can speak whatever you want to speak.
Acho que só numa shota, se ela volta merda, uma shota mesmo, se só numa shot, shota mesmo, uma.
Zeke, do you mind if I ask a question of the voice?
Sure, go ahead. Sure.
Voice, I'm wondering if you have anything to say, and I'm also wondering if you feel male or female.
I felt like I was moving all the energy out of my space, and it sort of felt like I was in utero. And it was just, and what Zeke said about he wants to say things that are inappropriate. And I feel like he wants to take ownership of other people's thoughts. All the information that is coming into him, he feels that it's almost like I feel that if he says it, then it's not inundating his space, but it's not his. And so it's not ours. It's so I feel like what I was doing was I was pushing all my mother's stuff out. I was pushing everyone's information out. Untangling me from all the energy and thoughts and feelings of everyone else that just sticks to me. And I got to a point where I felt like most of it was off of me and I was feeling my heartbeat. And that was the first time I felt my heartbeat. And I was thinking to myself, I am my voice, I am my essence. I'm not anything else. I'm not my body, I'm not my mind, I'm not my thoughts, I'm just my essence. But I'm inundated with so much information, energy, that's not mine. But for some reason I feel like I need to take ownership of it, because that's all I know. Because I learned how to take ownership of that since I was a fetus. I don't know any other way. So that habitually in my nervous system, that's what I do. Take on all the information as if it were my own. I don't know any other way. And I had this idea, not in my mind, but I just started moving my hands. And as I was listening to the soul into what I am, their idea of what I was doing, I came up with my own interpretation of what I was doing. I don't know if it's true. I have no idea, but all I felt like I was doing was trying to take away what was not mine. And towards the end of taking it all away, I started to feel my heart. I have a heart. And I have an essence. And it's been polluted with everyone's thoughts and emotions, and because these thoughts that you say that we have, they're not ours. We were born pure. We were born love. I mean, all these not very good thoughts aren't ours, but we've learned to take everything on as if it were ours, and it's not ours. And all I was doing, I guess it was taking it off because I'm tired. Tired of processing everyone else's thoughts and feelings and emotions.
Soul, how do you feel?
That, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
That really resonated with me so much because I also wanted to say before that I felt that sometimes you get psychically attacked by other spirits and by because you're an empath, you take on everybody's energy, and that just resonated with me what the voice said. And somehow you have to separate everybody else from your pure essence, your thoughts, instead of getting too tangled up in everything else. That's so true.
I heard the voice say that you didn't know any other way, so it seems like that'll be new learning. Because the voice is saying that it started already in utero, taking on all of these thoughts, so it's understandable if it's...
I did wish, first I wanted to, my wish was when I was younger to fly like Superman. And then at some point I lost interest in that. I wanted to know what everyone thinks. Because I felt that people weren't being honest with me. I wanted to know, just like I know what I think at any point. I want to know what everyone is.
From listening to the recording of your mom, and it would make sense that people weren't saying the truth, and that's what we see in traumatized systems, is the trauma is the truth, and if people are masking the trauma and denying the trauma, then it's understandable that a child would want to know what people are thinking, because the truth isn't being spoken of. Just reflecting back what I
Yes, that is very accurate. I do appreciate that. I am. Do you think you could speak the thought you're having right now without censoring it?
Before it was hard to read. I can breathe now. Like you've been choked before, you can still feel the pain, but it's not there anymore. The weight's been lifted, but you still have that bruise. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's things. The last 2 semesters at school, for 3 semesters, I started Pierce College to take the classes that would transfer to CSUN, and they repeatedly blocked me. The critical thinking class professor blocked any mention of my YouTube channel, even though the class, the paper was about our goals, our career goals, our most important goals, and that was my goal. And she said I could not discuss it to classmates or in the paper or in the class, like And then this semester, I was told, you don't like it here, leave, because I was talking too much. And the instructor, the professor, looked at me in the Zoom room like this, like that gesture kind of traumatized me. And when I corresponded with her, she said, "Don't tell me how to do my job." And then I went to the chair of the department, and he doubled down. He said, "Yes, Zeke, you do talk too much. If you don't like it here, leave." And then that really hurt me. And it was obvious, I felt I could see the two were having a relationship with each other. And she knew she could get away with stuff like that because he was, on her side, you see. And I had the thought I wanted to say that in a review, in a public review on Yelp. I wanted to say that let's keep this a secret from your partners at home. The two of you in bed with each other.
It looks like the voice is wanting to.
Yes, please,
respond.
voice. Yes, please. Anytime, voice.
I don't know if it's frustrated or overwhelmed. I feel like we get into other people's business too much because we want to help, and we have a lot of inner children that need our attention, and I feel like we need to focus on ourselves more and stop focusing on everyone else, because we're abandoning ourselves every time we go out into other people's business. Not focus or hurt. There's no cohesiveness to all of us together, and so because there's no cohesiveness to all of us are all over the place. So even if you want to shield yourself from any psychic attacks, you can, because all of your inner children aren't in here with you, because we are trying to figure out everyone outside of us. But if we focus on ourselves and work on ourselves and nurture our inner children, I feel like the outside world would look totally different and less frustrating to us.
That is accurate. I think
It's understandable.
I have been told that, yes.
And that's your part telling you. That's a part of your psyche, the voice. That's not Lorraine. That's a part of you telling you that.
Yes.
And also, it's understandable that you would have had that response to the traumatized system that you grew up in, to be out trying to figure everything out, know what people were thinking, all the things that your parts have said, like trying to read people's minds, wanting to fly, to get away, whatever the responses were. It's understandable. That's what saved you.
Yes,
that is accurate.
But I know it's not easy.
I know. I mean, I'm still.
We're so habitual. Our nervous system is so habitual to want to do
It's changing. Is so difficult. Changing behavior. I'm still have thoughts that it's on a track, and no matter how many times I feel like I've transcended it, and then a few days later it's the same. And then somebody told me today that the reason you find it so hard to change is because you feel others are forcing, because you're forced to change, and you won't change until you yourself choose of your own volition that you want to change, not because others are demanding you change, but because you want it. That's what you want.
Yeah, I think too, though, it's a matter of us accepting ourselves, accepting where we're at, and being able to be with ourselves for a while and just not focus on trying to fix ourselves. And because we're already okay, we're like fine. We all have it. It's just a matter of taking all those clothes off that aren't ours, that we've been wearing all our life, that don't belong to us. So we just need to shed all these clothes that aren't ours and be with ourselves, be in nature, and regulate our nervous system and in nature. 'Cause nature doesn't, like, nature just knows how to go, right? And there's no, like, and it's just that, I don't know how to explain nature, but it's just like, I feel that being more with nature, it helps our nervous system.
It always finds
Nature
its
has
way.
no thoughts. Nature has no judgments. It's just like you're there and you are able to regulate. Just like when you are with an animal, they have no judgments, no thoughts. You can sit there and be resourced, and you have this clear mirror of yourself, and you can regulate your nervous system. And that's what we need more of. We need more of interaction with animals or interaction with nature. And that's all we need. And then we'll just be better.
Yeah.
It's not that we humans make everything so complicated. We make everything into we have so many modalities out there, but if we just go back to nature, then we're done. But the human psyche just can't, comprehend the simplicity, we want to make it so complicated, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's
That's what I relate is when my mind is trying to figure things out, I step out of it.
Things out. I love to figure things out. I love figuring things out. It's so fun.
I
But
don't
it's
think it.
tiring too.
Yeah, the mystery is beyond any intellectual comprehension, and so I need to step out of it. And it's just this thing. It doesn't go away because I keep resisting saying it, and I don't know what relevance it has, but I feel like I have to say it. This Wednesday I was in Janet's meeting, and I felt I could see so clearly every person. There's several of us. I said, this person is involved with him and her. This person is me and her. And this person, I could say, and I wanted to speak it to them. I wanted to tell them. I felt that it was so hilarious and so obvious what was going on. The dynamics, the relationship dynamics in that group. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people there. And I could tell that the involvements each person had with the others, and I found that so fascinating. I felt like that needed to be spoken. That would, but then that was inappropriate to do. You see.
I'm curious. Do you think it needed to be spoken so that we could hear it? Because those dynamics and those people, I feel like, were inside of us too, and we need to hear it outside of our mouth for us to comprehend it in our head. So are you constellating with these people, and you're saying it so that you can hear it, so that it can come into you and you can digest it because it's in us?
I would say that's accurate. Yes. I mean, if I feel like people hide from the truth, and
But that's too. We hide from the truth. Everything we're noticing in other people is in us too. And we don't always have to speak it. We can write it in a journal. And we can sit with nature and figure it out ourselves. If we want to.
that doesn't take away my need to speak it. I still, I mean, and that's the thing. No matter what we say, I feel like I still have to say these things that I have to say. No matter what, what I do about it, no matter how I try to shift it, it's still the fact is.
I think it's because it's our story. We don't know any other story. What if we created a new story? We're so attached to this story. I mean, it has a lot of energy behind it, right? It's a magnificent story. But what if we changed the story? Because we could.
Well, it would need to be transformed, right? And then transformation, it would. You can't just erase it and start from scratch.
No, not erase it, but just change. Create a new story and let this one be. It's not serving us anymore. But it's a good story, and it's fun and it's exciting to have some drama.
What are you gonna do? Sweep it under the rug? Where is it gonna go?
Not sweep it under the rug. It's just that it's a story that we're attaching to. Like, just think about it. If we were in neutrality, there wouldn't be any stories.
Uh-huh.
When we're in neutrality, there's no stories to attach to.
Oh.
I know you know this. So, but the stories are so exciting, right?
Yeah.
To attach to a story, and we're so used to it. Our nervous system doesn't know any other way but to attach to stories.
Yeah.
All humans attach to stories. But you know this. You're so smart, and you know this. But it's so hard to get back into the present moment where there's no stories.
My
We're
tendency
either
is
in the past or in the
to go the
future.
opposite, to write a script, to write a movie out of it, and, you know, to see it on the screen. That's my tendency. That what I saw, I mean, but I feel like not only do I want to speak it, I want to publish it. I want to make it into a movie and publish it. What's going on? What I see around me.
Then why don't you do that? That would allow you to purge all the information that's in our system that doesn't need to be there, so that we can be more clear and we can just talk like very, like we're not so. I feel like we're so inundated with information that we want to share, and it's sharing it and creating a movie that would help us a lot with the data that's in our head. Dump it out so that we can be freer in this body that we're in.
Well, that's really what I need so much, that you're okay with it. You're not saying, oh no, that you shouldn't do that. That's wrong, because I get that so often. But
we
then,
need to hire someone to help us.
well, yeah. I mean, that's you're affirming it. I couldn't ask for anything more. The fact that you're okay with it makes me feel wonderful. I mean, that's so precious to me, because usually that's not what I get, like, so that really means a lot to me. I mean, that idea I have had that 2 years ago. I was telling my acting teacher what was going on in my home, and she said, write the script and we'll write a play out of it. And then it's just that bug. I caught that bug there, and then everything that happens, I've been videoing, hoping, with my clients, that the kids were on the spectrum, and all this relationships, all this stuff. I have so much content, so much written stuff, so much recordings. And I feel I need to do it. I feel I need to and then all I need is to have the support, the producers, and I've had people contacting me about that. So I mean that's really.
It sounds like you're getting the inner support right now. So that
yes,
might make
see
things
that's so precious to me. That effort, validation means so much to me, and then that I feel that's what upset me. I want to talk to the soul. I mean, Alice, representing the soul. Alice, what she told me, I think years ago, I told her I wanted to be prosperous, and she discouraged me. She said that you shouldn't go after money. You should tend to the soul. And then that spin that, and I know, Alice, you said that. I said that 2 years ago, and please stop repeating that. But that's kind of stuck in my soul, that you weren't supporting me. It means a lot to me when someone supports me and doesn't put something in the machinery to clog it up like that. I need people's support in what I'm doing, and that you're my sister, and you told me that. And then that's why I told you, because if you don't think we should be prosperous, then you shouldn't be spending other people's money to treat your cancer. I'm sorry I had to say that, but then that's I think maybe if you process that truth yourself, I think you're living with concepts of scarcity that I keep feeling you don't want to let go of.
Zeke, are you speaking directly to the soul? Can you a response from the soul?
Sure.
I feel again confused because he's talking with me as Alice, and
Go
I'm
beyond
supposed
that.
to
Say anything that's on your mind. Doesn't matter.
If you can stay with the resonance of the soul, psyche, that's going to be better for the process.
I mean, so something needs to be spoken. We shouldn't let the rules of the process get in the way. I don't think that will benefit anybody.
She's representing the soul, which is part of your psyche, and we'll just see what comes through.
I meditate on that for a second. I need to come back again. A few 2 seconds. I please need to say, there's a second statement that I wrote is I want the whole world to hear the voice of the soul, and then
that could be your next process, because that in that statement, or that it includes I and want. So that would become an intention at that point. This is more of an exploration.
Yeah.
I am the voice of the soul, and a lot of information has come through, like all these survivor strategies of getting into other people's business to try to figure out what they're doing, because that's what you had to do from your system of origin. But having a sense of your intention with I want, it's gonna be kind of the next step, and you welcome to explore that as well. But I think maybe we want to check with the soul, and I think they had something to say.
Sure.
So it's up to you.
Sure. Yes.
I just feel very torn up inside. Just very disassociated.
Hey, could I ask another question of the soul?
Who I ask your.
No, she's asking if she can ask a question.
Sure, go ahead, yeah.
The soul, do you feel like you're a part of Zeke?
Right now I feel torn up from everything, like I am not part of anything.
Okay, thank you. I'm wondering, Zeke, if we want to have someone come in and represent your mother and see what changes.
Sure.
Oftentimes we have a part of us is identified with our mother, but we have a part that's not quite sure if they're a part of you. That might be an indication that it's an identification with your mother.
Sure, yes, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Maybe you want to check and see who's available and see if you want to choose them, and they can type in the word that you called your mother when you were a child. It's up to you. If you don't want to bring in your mother, that's fine.
I do. Let's maybe people wanna.
What did you call her in your language?
What is it?
Mom.
Mom. Yeah,
okay.
Mom.
M-O-M.
M-O-M, yeah.
Okay, so you can choose someone. I think most people are available, and they can type into their name, or I can do it for them.
Okay.
M-O-M.
Let's see who would want to represent my mom.
Okay. You get to choose, so I think everyone's available for you to choose from.
Well, I wouldn't want.
Pick
I would. Let's see. There's Susanna and Jesse and Suzanne. Maybe so Susanna showing herself. Then I would think Susanna would be.
Okay.
and that,
if you want to choose Susanna, then you can ask her if she'd be willing to represent your mom, and then she'll type in -MOM. She's probably willing.
hi Susanna, would you please be willing to represent my mom? Thank you.
Just call her mom.
Yes, mom. It's just like that. Bill Cosby was asking the kid, how do you say Big Mac in Russian? He says Big Mac. the Big Mac is a Big Mac no matter where you go. Mom is a mom is a mom. And just the statement is the stuff that's going on. It's like I feel like people think there's something wrong with it, and I feel it's just so beautiful that it, not only is there nothing wrong with it, that and I want it all on the screen and shown, you know, reality TV or in a movie. That I feel that's what would make it really great, as if it was portrayed. And the stuff going on is just so fascinating. What's going on in my life, I embrace it all so much, and that's what I want to share with the world. That is my voice. This is the.
It sounds like the voice has something. It looks like the voice has
I
something
please
to
want to
add.
hear the voice.
I feel like we get more if we were to focus on the abundance and the prosperity, but if we're focused on our passion and how we want to bring something out to the world, like, because I feel that when we're in our passion, we just naturally bring abundance. But putting prosperity in front of our passion, it doesn't sit well with me. I want passion. I want to feel joy. I want to express myself, but I don't want to put prosperity in front of that. I think if I put my passion, what I love to do, and what makes my heart sing, just naturally things will be better for me and life will be easy. But I don't want to tie everything towards prosperity, because at the end of the day, prosperity isn't going to bring us happiness. It's the well-being is going to bring me happiness. I don't need anything to be happy. I don't need a big home. I don't need anything. But I need to do what I'm passionate about. I need to do something that's coming from my heart, not from prosperity.
Well, I need to get
prosperity will come through. What's that?
I need to get myself a movie studio and actors and cameras and all that stuff. I can't do that without prosperity.
But I think we're looking at it wrong. I think we just need to put out what we want, and then everything, all the things of how it's going to happen will just come to us. Maybe people will come to us and want to do it for free. I think we're putting too much emphasis on how to do it, instead of just like what we want to do, set that intention of what we want to do, and then life starts bringing the people that we need that will help us, whatever it looks, and it'll just happen magically.
Mom? She's busy writing something.
I'm just feeling jittery and annoyed. I want to do something, like I want to move on from it. I feel like you're wasting your time. I don't really, I just keep hearing in my brain Zeke. It's really strange. Zeke. Like, come on, Zeke. Come here, Zeke. Stop it, Zeke. Come on, Zeke. Where are you going, Zeke? No, Zeke, stop. It's all this, like, directives are flowing through my brain of trying to because you're out of control.
So that's an identification with your mother. That's not your. Susanna's representing an identification you have with your mother. So, if you will, your inner mother, what your mother treated you is, there's a part of you that still treats yourself like that. So.
I mean, that was truth. Me being out of control and everybody trying to control me.
Let's see, if you will, if you want to, we can check with the soul and see if anything's changed with them since your mother came in. Your actual mother. Your identification with your mother, because that part of the soul was not sure if they were a part of you. Let's see what's changed, if you want to.
Soul?
I just feel like someone is trying to stick to me like a glue. Like there's so much, someone is like pushing themselves on me, and I want them separated, and it just feels so icky. And uncomfortable. Like someone's obsessed with me, and I can't get away from it.
And so then maybe choosing to die would be a way you've decided to do that.
Choosing what?
To die?
Well, that would be if that's a part of you that's choosing to die. So Alice is representing a part of you called the soul. So there may be similarities, being that you came from the same family system. There might be entanglement that naturally happens in traumatized systems. But here Alice is representing a part of you. And what they're saying, they're talking a little bit, it seems like, about that state that you were in utero, that the voice talked about pushing away all of these thoughts and this other energy. But your parts can respond if that resonates with them, because it sounds very similar to what the voice was speaking about. And I would encourage you to check in with Diane.
Diane?
Because
Diane?
I am.
Oh, I am. I am. Oh, I am. I am. Because Diane was my supervisor. So what's Diane doing here?
I am.
I am.
Oh man, it feels like I'm like on a leash. In a sense, I'm like being pulled every which way. Somebody says something, I had to go this way, go that way, no, turn around, this, it's like being pulled. And that's kind of how I feel. And I feel that like, it's like around the neck, being pulled many different ways, like a tug of war between everybody. I can't have my own free will. I can't move this way when I want to.
Yeah, that is how I feel. Yes, Mom?
I was feeling before you said that as this idea not gonna happen, that I'm going to go anywhere. Yeah, sucking into it, I feel you. And I look at and it's just, I want that. I want to own that I am in me.
Yeah.
I want that to be mine.
Yes, I recognize that. Yes.
Lorraine has to leave, so
Okay.
maybe she can tell us later after the process in a text or something if there's anything else she had to add, but she needs to leave. So you could release her, Zeke. You can tell her I see you as Lorraine. Thank you for being my voice.
Thank you, Lorraine, for being my voice. I see you as Lorraine. I release
Thank you,
you.
Zeke.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Bye. So she did a lot of really great work for you.
She always does. Always. Always.
Yeah.
Mom?
I just want to say I feel like I've won something here. The voice is gone, and all that pulling things off of you is gone, and now I got to. Yeah, and I feel really happy that the voice is gone.
Yes, you always want to possess me all to yourself. You don't want to share me with anyone else. Exactly.
And that scares me very
This is
much.
perfect.
I know.
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Nothing needs to change right here. This is perfect. And even like the pool there is so suppressed and silent, doesn't need to go or stay, it doesn't matter.
I feel like you're gonna want to get rid of me too.
Zeke, you can be in charge here and
Yes, I think the soul is speaking the truth this
before you
week.
speak, so that Zeke can feel like he's in charge and it's not too overwhelming, and he can call on whatever part he wants.
I don't want to be authority on anyone, and I feel authority keeps preventing truth being spoken with the rules that we can't speak as we wish. We have to speak as what we're representing. I think we should be. If I'm the authority, then I say we should be free to speak anything we want to. We shouldn't try to conform into the rule that we should always speak as what we represent. We should just say, be able to see whatever we want.
It's not going to be just what they're representing. It'll always be some part of the person representing as well.
So go ahead, Saul. I mean, you were speaking the truth. I
was
needed so
very
much to be spoken.
scared.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'm very, very scared of Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to get rid of me, and so she can be completely in charge.
Yeah, she's there. She's there. She's there. Yeah.
I'm wondering, Zeke, if she went into the hospital and she had abortions before, and then your dad came in to get her and pulled her out, it's questionable if she wanted to have you at all, honestly.
Yeah,
Just from the past.
you know, that's obvious. I had thought of that.
If
But
that's a
I
really priority
keep
here,
feeling, Amalea,
really
that you're doing better as mom. Also, you keep budging in and preventing the truth being spoken. I feel. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yep, I can be quiet. And if you want me to leave I can turn my video off too, if that's better.
I need a go ahead, Saul.
I like that I have someone who cares enough to speak the things that she's saying to bring this to the right direction. So I really would like her to guide us, or else we'll be all over the place.
Oh, Mom, go ahead, please.
And the more you talk, the more you so caringly don't want to have authority and whoever to say whatever they want, the more power you're giving me. So the more power you give away, the more I get, and the more I'm enjoying it. And I'm just reporting now, Susanna resonating your mom, that every time your mom speaks, your eyes get wide and big and light up. Like when you were a baby, you had great big shiny eyes. But now as a man, they get dim and heavy. So when you're talking to all the other parts, your eyes get dark. But when you listen to me, your eyes shine and get big. And I like that attention. And as a resonator, I'm very concerned for you. So I don't ever do this, but as a resonator, resonating your mom, the dynamic I'm seeing between you and this mom, that I'm very concerned for you. For this extraordinary control this mom is dominating from you, and that you're giving it to her. And it's like you go right back to being a little baby, staring up at your mom. That concerns me. And it's almost like the defense mechanisms to keep this tight bond with baby and mommy, protected from everything and everyone else. And your logical mind is just resisting everything that could come to you, saying no, 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 no. Keeping up the logical patterns of thought and talk, and maintaining this baby mom bond right here. And let me tell you, mom is evil. She ain't nice. She's not lovingly controlling you. She's taking your power like it's fruit juice or something, you know.
Yeah.
But so just as I never step out of the resonance and report as a resonator resonating. But right now, I'm concerned about what I'm feeling here.
Yeah, so I can't get enough of what you're speaking.
Zeke, I am shaking their head in agreement to some of the things that Susanna pointed out as a resonator. It might be good to check in with your I am, because I am is probably your core.
Yes, I am. Please go ahead. I am.
I feel like hopeless, literally. It's kind of like similar back to the first feeling I was feeling in the beginning. I was alone and cold, where it's like, okay, you know, all right, fine, I just do it, you know what I mean? I mean, I can feel the tug. It's like, okay, I don't want to feel the tug, I'll just go with it. Right,
Like
you know.
a well-trained dog. Good dog.
Yeah, literally.
Boy, good boy. I'm totally resonating right now, by the way. Good boy.
There's something there. I mean, that I that's so accurate. That my tendency was to say, well, I don't want to have authority over anybody. Everybody should speak as they wish. And then mom is taking that authority. Is that it? And then so mom takes it. And then she when I give away my authority, then mom has it. Is that it?
I mean, it's like you're the way I feel it is like you just gave away your power.
Uh-huh.
Somebody has more power than you.
And as a mother, I feel like saying, yes, be scared. You should be scared. Be scared.
Zeke, you had to. You were a baby.
This whole childhood, what are you talking about? I still got him. But every time, like those texts you showed us, she starts losing control of you, just flips out, right?
I had my client's mother. They have this dog. They have a leash around that they control with a remote. That they can, every time it jumps on the table, they give it an electric shock. And I had the thought had gone around that we had discussed at a Janus meeting that I was actually gonna wear one of those and have people in my life who complain about me talking too much or saying dirty things, that they would give them all remotes. Because they keep threatening to leave me if I keep on. And I said, well, if you shock me, that's better than if you leave me.
Because that's how your pattern was with your mother. So you're treating yourself that way. We treat ourselves the way that our mother treated us. And we couldn't bear having our mother leave us when we were infants and dependent children. But now that you're becoming aware of it, that's where that comes from.
I'd actually gone to pet stores, and the pet stores didn't have it. They said, that's too cool, we don't carry that. It's too cool a thing to put on a dog. Why would you do that? And they would say, no, that's not for a dog, it's for me.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, please.
This isn't his mother. You know, I totally forgot. It just got plucked out of my brain. Almost like it's something is trying to keep you from even being able to think in a way that would free you from this control, from that leash around your neck. You're in total compliance. There's something called Stockholm Syndrome. If you've never heard of Stockholm Syndrome, you go into total compliance to survive.
Yeah.
And the best thing that I can tell you is that everything that could have or would have happened to you as a baby or a little boy, 100% dependent on your mom, or even your dad, or an adult to take care of you, or you would die. Those things are gone. Any of those things that could happen or could be taken away from you for you to survive, not just food and water and shelter, but love and safety and the right to exist. All those things are gone now because you're a man. Because you have a big body and a big brain, and when your brain is clear, everything you've learned, you have the power as a grown man to take care of and defend himself. And so there's part of you that's kind of complete supplication to the mom. Just need to know from you, not from me, but from you, that you will commit all your resources and knowledge and strength as a grown man to your inner child, to your baby. Take that power away from your mother, and that includes allowing yourself to be a voice of authority. You are the voice of authority for your life. You're the voice of authority, and Amalea facilitating handed that, the other end of the leash to you. You have the right to take control and be in charge of and have autonomy and authority over this process, because this is you. Even that part of you that's mother, controlling, that's just a part of you allowing it. You can say no to that, and you can say yes to your eye. You can take that collar off the eye and give it freedom. No more shocking. And you have the ability as a grown adult to monitor and discern where and when and who to say anything to. You're not a slave to inappropriate thoughts. And I'm just going to add that your mother taught you those inappropriate thoughts because she was looking at you inappropriately. If you're laying in bed and your mother's in your room looking at you sexually, that's inappropriate. Your mother taught you and brainwashed you to be inappropriate. That's what inappropriate is. So if you have identification with and give power to the mother, you're going to take on her inappropriate thoughts. They're not yours. Just like the voice was saying. And I would even suggest bring something in. You're missing your voice now. You need someone.
You're doing pretty good as a voice.
Why don't you,
Okay, I wasn't resonating, Mom. Maybe I took the voice over. I don't know.
if you want to, you could have her rename herself as the voice. And we'll let Mom go.
Give her to Mom.
It's up to you. It's up to you, Zeke. If you want to, you could have Susanna rename herself as the voice.
Yes, go ahead, please. Keep saying what you're speaking, because you're speaking the truth. Yes, Susanna, stop resonating, Mom, if you would. Resonate as the voice. And tell me the truth. Don't hold anything back. Just speak it as it comes. Just a moment, please. Just think like just a moment. For some reason, I drank too much water. Okay, go ahead. Voice.
First, I felt very powerful, like I was being powerful talking to you. Very powerful voice of reason, a voice of truth, a voice of liberation, a voice of freedom, a voice of your heart, a voice of your soul, your voice. And then when you left, I wanted to tell you as voice, like, you wanted to know what I had to say, and I just wanted to say, well, I said it. And I said it already.
Okay.
And I know that, and I know that's a lot to take in. And then I looked at the chat when we left, when Lorraine said she had to go. And then she said, my son needs me. And that hit me that, like, the voice left. My son needs me. And one of my hands is clenched like a fist on the desk, by the way, and it's pretty strong, clenched and pressing on the desk. Like it's holding me up. And my voice is starting to shake a little. My son needs me. And I'm feeling identified with your mother again, that you're my son needs me. So the voice is saying, my son needs me, and you're my son. But the voice left because my son needs me. Then this identification you had with Mom was evil and controlling and life-sucking. And then the voice came up to protect you from that. It's like, this is bad. But when I became the voice resonating, the voice that left because my son needs me. I can't figure that out. You need me. So if I'm the voice, saying my son needs me, somehow I'm looking at you,
I am your son.
saying my son needs me.
Okay.
So am I still you, or am I the mother? Yeah,
Let's go.
another part of your mother that's smaller and more helpless and more mother bear. It's scared and weak because my son needs me, and maybe I feel like I don't know what to do or if I'll do it right, but my son needs me. So this is a different voice. And I do feel like I'm wrong. Still saying to you, my son needs me. But that other voice, that powerful voice, got lost again.
Let's go to I am.
Yes, please.
Zeke,
Yes,
I see they have their hand up. And
yes please.
that's
Yes, I
more
am.
part of you, I think.
I'm feeling it's probably the mother's inner voice. You know, she may have been one way, but you know, everybody has that other side. You know, she probably was scared. Don't know what the situation may have been. She loves you. And I guess she feels she wants you to be strong. Because maybe, I'm thinking maybe that's what you need to hear. You need to hear it from, I guess, her inner side.
Mom? Voice. Yes, please.
I'm shaking. My fist is still clenched and supporting me. What I said is true. All that dominance and control morphed out of this intense fear that I can't take care of you. And I don't even know me. So I made all this defense mechanism up and got consumed by it. Deep inside, I know you need me, and I know I can't be a proper mom. I'm not, and I never was. And I can't be when I'm like this, scared, like I'm a baby. I'm still a baby, having a baby. Oh my God, and I feel, and I'm gonna be inappropriate for you. I felt a chill, and my vagina just got all this intense tingling, and my mind can easily say that's sexual, but it's not. It's definitely energy in that area, intensely tingling, and it's not desire for sex. It's not orgasm stimulation. It's weird. It's incredible, and I'm confused about it. And I'm going to jump out on a limb and say your mother was raped or molested as a very young child. Sexually abused herself. Maybe even as a tiny.
Possibility, yeah.
Where eating got confused. The need to eat, to suckle, drink, all the energy and that pain. All that isn't here anymore. It's down here in my vagina. It's in the wrong place. Something caused it. Someone caused it. And now all I can bring to you, your entire quality of life, even now, all I can bring to you is that energy dynamic. And it feels very wrong, but there is no right or wrong. Appropriate, inappropriate, it goes to the plane of it just is. Something in my mind is saying it's unfortunate. That what happened, happened, that I bring this to you now, and it is what it is. Because I'm just a baby. There's nothing I can do about it. It's neurologically entrained in my nervous system. It's just irreversible. I'm stuck like this, and I'm terrified, and I need you. I need you because there's no one else to feel this. I need him to eat.
It sounds like your mom is. It sounds like your mom is looking for a parent in you.
No, not just a parent. Something more inappropriate than
I
that.
know what that is. I know what that is. I am.
Yeah, I feel as your mom lost her power, and I guess getting it from you is the way she can feel that she can regain that strength.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
He's right. I just let go. I feel free.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
What is it, Zeke?
Zeke, what is it?
If your parts want to know, tell your parts.
It's okay.
She wants oral sex, is what she wants, right? She
What?
wants
I
oral.
didn't hear that.
That's what I hear. She keeps sucking on something. What is she sucking on?
If it's
Well,
not you, it'll be something.
it's me. It's me. That's what it is. I mean, why? I mean, that's the whole thing. Is why sugarcoat it? That's what you want. And there's all these ways of denying it, right? That's what you want, right? That's what you've always wanted. You're always looking down there. You were looking down there when I was 12. You're lifting the bed covers looking down there. That's what you want. That's what you've always wanted. Right? I mean, let's just come out and say it.
It wasn't me. It was this energy in my vagina. It's so intense. My brain is just sucked down into this intense energy all around my vulva that's unbearable. It's so intense. It's pain.
I mean, all it is
I can't even feed you. I can't nourish you. And I can't even feel my breast when you're nursing. Because I just feel that intense pain. And it's getting displaced on you. There's nothing. Your eye said it right. All my power is gone. My brain, it's like from back here, as if someone takes a big plug with multiple attachments and sticks in the back of my brain. Like if you ever saw Matrix, just sticks in the back of my brain and it's using me as like this battery. So, and just doing that gesture, just recognizing that, I feel like this connection, almost like to the divine, but it's not, it's a replacement. it's an invasion. Almost like a machine sucking the life out of me and making me think I'm connecting to the divine. But it's nothing to do with the divine. It's an illusion. I'm in a matrix. And this leash is around my neck, and this plug isn't sucking energy out of me. Now I'm confused because I just shifted from this mother identification, losing its mind and power, to this feeling of like mother tapping in and sucking that power from Zeke. That's the beginning. At the beginning, I just, coming in his mom, I just kept thinking, Zeke, like a pulsing of your name. Almost like this section is just going sucking Zeke. And more I'm playing this out, the stronger the feeling my vagina is getting, but it's also getting more bearable. Like I'm feeling some energy in my head, and it's not reducing the energy in my vagina that hurts, that's stimulating, but it's matching it more, so I can feel something else instead. I'm just thinking about you. Zeke. Just thinking about you is like covering that feeling of my vulva on fire, like painful. And you know, honestly, going from mom identification to the voice identification, I'm a different part of your mom that is like completely empty of any of my own power. The I said it, and the I hit the nail on the head, and now I can see it and viscerally feel what I just described. And I'm going to tell you, Zeke, this has nothing at all to do with you. This has to do with a massive malfunction in your mother's nervous energy system. And she's powerless. And now I can feel that drive, that passion is coming back as the voice that I was when I was protecting you from the mom. Now I'm protecting you from the little mom's voice, saying, Zeke, it's not your responsibility to fix this for her. You can't. And you can't be the one to feed this lack and this loss and this hunger, because you're never going to be enough. Nothing is ever going to be enough. Just don't sacrifice yourself to feed this void of power. Take your power back. I mean, I'm going to offer something to you. This is getting weird. I'm sorry, Zeke. This is the weirdest constellation resonance I've ever done. But imagine that right here, I'll give you one. So imagine this is really big, this big, and these tongues, there's a bunch of them all over it, like 6 of them in a circle, and one in the center, and this tongue is stuck. And let's see if I can, I'm going to put it back to you so I can't do anything. But picture this tongue right here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's stuck, like a big one, right? It's stuck into the back of your head. Right in that soft spot.
Yeah.
In your cranium, right where the bone gets soft, in that angle right there. This piece is just stuck in there. Second, like I being mom, plug myself into you. And I'm hearing you know what I'm gonna offer you as mom, because I can't do it, because I might die, but your mom won't really die, right? So I'm worried about that. But this mom feels like it's going to die when you do this, but it gives you permission.
Pull the plug.
To pull the plug.
Pull the plug.
So reach up into the screen so all your brides can see it.
Uh-huh.
And just do a big pulling movement with your hand. Just pull this plug.
There he goes. Did it. I did it.
Now this part, all that fear this part had, that I was just gonna shrivel up and go bald and dehydrate and shrivel and disappear. That's not what's happening. It's not what's happening. What's actually happening is this part is tapping right back into that coping mechanism.
Yeah.
The big, bad, mean, scary monster. Taking and sucking. So I tap right, so you can pull that flag. Then I get like this.
Yeah.
Back to that one. My arm muscles are all tight and right? But now, that I'm not plugged into you. So maybe you could say something like, I take my power back. However you would phrase it. You know? Can you say that? I took my power back, Mom?
I took my power back, Mom. Take my power back.
I'm just thinking bullshit.
I'm taking my power back.
Then I'm feeling weak.
Taking my power back.
Bullshit.
I'm taking my power back. I'm taking my power back.
Thinking, damn it. You can't do that.
I can't. I'm taking my power back.
Like my skull is just like an oyster or something. Living open.
Nah.
That's what I feel like someone's just taking my skull with its fingers and just cracking it open like a coconut.
Good.
I'm being dramatic, aren't I?
I know, I love it.
I'm being dramatic.
Love it. Thank you. That is just amazing.
I feel like saying that I'm proud of you.
I like that. I appreciate that.
I'm proud of you for taking your power back. You're not a weak little slag anymore. I respect that you took your power back.
I take my power back.
Zeke, could you check in with I am?
I am?
I feel the leash, the collar is gone. I'm feeling like I'm recharging. I have my energy's coming back. I can feel it.
And you may want to check in with the soul before we close the process and see if they have anything else to say before you release everyone.
Go ahead, Saul. Speak what's on your mind.
I had to disengage the whole time. Mom and the voice was talking. I had to hide.
I know.
I had to just not be there.
I know.
but I did, at the end, I am envisioning now opening the door and going out, and the sunlight is hitting my.
Go ahead, it's okay. I know. The truth is, the three things can't be hidden, the moon, the sun, and the truth. It has to come out. I mean, it's obscene, I know. It's horrible to hear that. It has to come out, see? Go ahead, let it out.
I feel like I'm the 8-year-old coming out of the cave and seeing the sun for the first time. Letting it shine on me and feeling the warmth and feeling centered and feel love for myself and only myself and only thinking of myself and being happy with that.
And I'm happy with that. I want that. It feels good. It feels good that you're thinking for yourself for the first time, because always you think about everybody else, right? I want you feeling it. You feel good. I'm proud of you. You thinking for yourself. Don't feel bad about. Why would you feel bad about that? You sound like you're ashamed of that. You should be thinking about yourself for once, right?
That's you talking.
What about you, Zeke? It's your 8-year-old. She's representing your 8-year-old self. Your 8-year-old part.
You understand, Zeke? That was you.
Yeah, I know that was me. I know it was you also, but it is also. I mean, you are me, right?
It's true. How does that feel? Like a good place to close? Do you think that
It feels wonderful. I mean, that is it. That is it. It's a lot to assimilate. There's a lot. It's just.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's a lot for the representatives to hold for so long.
The voice. Go ahead, please.
Just want to share that I shifted from mom to the voice, and now I feel like I'm your voice. And I just want to show you what your voice had to say. That's so beautiful. This is you. This is you if it showed. It has to come out. The moon, the sun, the truth. That's you. That's what your voice said. And it's beautiful.
It is. I know. I am beautiful. And I want the whole world to see that.
So your next, if you want to do another intention with someone with this method, you can include I and want, and then it will be more like an intention. This was more of an exploration. So you can keep that in mind, and also it's good at the end of a process to do what you did with Lorraine and just tell your representatives thank you.
Okay.
And that you release them from representing what they've been representing, and that you see them as who they are.
Okay. Thank you, Antonio. I release you from representing I am back to Antonio. Honored for your presence in my life, and you back to Antonio. Thank you. And Alice, I thank you for representing the soul, my soul, and I release you from being my soul, and I release you back into Alice, and I love you, and I'm sorry.
to be sorry.
I forgive you and thank you.
Thank you.
And the voice, Susanna, I release you from being the voice and from being my mom. And I appreciate you so much for speaking the unspeakable. And I release you back into Susanna. Thank you all.
My pleasure.
I also want to thank all of you for helping my brother and I.
Thank you.
It really helped me also.
Yeah, oftentimes when we represent, there can be things that can be very helpful for us. I find that as well. Alice, thank you for showing up for Zeke the way you did, and Antonio as well, and Susanna.
Thank you,
I'm
everyone.
going to turn off my video and my audio because it's late here, and I'm gonna leave the room open in case anybody wants to continue chatting.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Zeke.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Alice, I just want to, if you have like 30 seconds, I just want to acknowledge how hard this must be for you to see as his sister. And that these things were going on in your mother too. And that part pulling away, meaning to hide, is also part of you.
Absolutely.
Because this is hard to take in at any age, at any point that your mother had this going on.
Absolutely.
You're a girl, you know.
I do feel like my soul leaves the body very often because I can't take it. And that's part of my sickness. So this was very, very therapeutic, and as much as it was hard to do, it was better than anything, that I've been feeling for my brother. It feels therapeutic, and I so appreciate you guys taking this whole time at night to be here for us. I can't believe that your heart is just...
My sentiments exactly, Alice, you spoke it. Because I was doing that in previous meetings, saying how much I appreciate it. Now this is, Zeke, you're embarrassing people. Just say thank you and, close the meeting, and that's I feel that's all I can do.
Well, good night. I'm gonna say goodbye.
so will I. Good night. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. She's sucking on something. She's sucking on something, Alice. What do you think it is? She's sucking on something, Alice. What do you think it is? What do you think of it? What else could it be?